the play by Bernard Shaw, Pygmalion. I think that it will be very interesting for you to watch this play. And does anybody know what is Pygmalion? Do you know the legend about Pygmalion? Who knows? Nobody? Then I'd like to tell you in brief what is it. Listen to me, please, and then you watch the play. So Pygmalion was a mythological character who dabbled in sculpture. He made a sculpture of his beloved woman, his ideal woman, and the statue was so beautiful that he fell in love with its statue. So he began to pray the gods to give life to this statue. And the gods heard him and gave the life to this statue. And his wish was granted. Now you watch the play which is called Pygmalion by Bernard Shaw, and I ask you, at the end of this play, tell me what is the similarity between this mythological legend and the play of Bernard Shaw. Is the task clear? Вы поняли, что я попросила вас? Сходство мне обозначить между легендой, между мифом о Пигмалионе и пьесой, которую поставил Бернард Шоу. Now, please, be patient, I beg you, прошу, будьте терпеливы, be tolerant and be friendly. Don't make noise. Keep silence, please. We'll start. It was raining heavily. In Covent Garden, under the entrance to St. Paul's Church, a group of people gathered, shaking the water of their clothes and peering out at the rain.
I don't know where Freddy can be. He's been gone for 20 minutes. He must have found the cat by now.
I'm afraid I can't find a cab. There aren't any cabs. The rain came on sudden, and everybody wanted to take a cab.
Don't be silly, Freddy. Go and look again, and don't come back until you found the cat.
Oh, very well, I'll go.
Oh, Freddy, look, where's the one? What, yeah?
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, but how do you know my son's name?
Oh, he's your son, is he? He done what my house and didn't pay me. Will they pay me?
Please be quiet. Have you got any pennies?
No, I only got 6 pence.
Give it to me. Here you are.
Thank you, lady.
You can keep the change, but tell me, how do you know my son's name?
I don't. I call everyone Freddy or Charlie when I want to be friendly.
Well, let's step aside and wait for Freddy. Oh, it's dreadful weather. When will it stop?
I'm afraid it's getting worse.
Be a gentleman store and buy a flower for a girl.
I'm afraid I haven't any change. No, wait. Here's 3 pence. You can have them. You'd better give him a flower for his money. Yes, sir, ma'am. Here, writing down every word you are saying.
I ain't done nothing wrong. Please don't let them charge me.
Oh, there. Пускать you, silly girl. What do you take me for?
Don't worry, girl. Can't a policeman, are you?
Do I look like a policeman? And now, tell me, how is life in Chelsea?
How do you know from Chelsea? I watched tell the someone man. Where does he come from?
Gentlemen, Harrow, Cambridge, and India.
Quite right. How did you know that?
It's simple phonetics in the science of speech. It is my job and also my hobby.
Really?
Yes, I can tell where everyone comes from by the way they speak.
But can you make a living doing that?
Yes. You see, this creature has a terrible English. In just 3 months, I could pass her off as a duchess.
Oh, you aren't serious.
Well, that's interesting. I'm an expert on Indian dialects myself.
Are you? Do you know Colonel Pickering wrote a book about Indian dialects?
I'm Carol Pickering. And who are you?
I'm Professor Henry Higgins.
Well, I came to London to meet you.
How wonderful. Come and see me tomorrow. I live at 27A Wimbledon Street.
Well, that's interesting. I look forward to seeing you in the morning.
Buy a flower before I go.
Oh, all right. Here you are.
Oh, look at that.
The few points that Higgins gave the flower girl did not mean much to him, but they made a huge difference to her. It's important to help people who have less than we do. Visiting Professor Higgins the next day. The two men sat in Higgins' study and discussed the wide variety of Indian dialects.
Excuse me, Professor Higgins. There is a young woman here to see you, sir. She's a very common girl.
I see. Does she have an interesting accent?
Oh, it's dreadful, sir.
Very well. Say her in. This is lucky. Now I can show her my records on people's voices.
This is the young lady, sir.
Oh no, this is the girl I met last night. I've already written about her accent. Get out, girl. I don't want you here.
Don't you be so rude to me. You aren't know why I come here. I'm come to have lessons. I have.
Pickering, shall we ask her to sit down or shall we throw her out?
Do sit down. And now tell us, what is it you want?
I want to be a lady. He said she could make me one, so here I am, ready to pay for my lessons.
And what's your name?
Eliza Julito.
And how much do you intend me to pay for the lessons?
Well, I ain't going to pay much for learning my own language, so I won't give you more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
A shilling? Do you know, Pickering, that a shilling is a 40% of your daily income? And that is 60 pounds of a millionaire's daily income.
60 pounds? I said nothing about 60 pounds. I ain't got 60 pounds.
Oh, please be quiet and take good wipe your eyes.
Iggy, I have an idea. You're the greatest teacher alive. And to the thing, you can make this girl into a lady for the time for the ambassador's party.
I don't know.
I'll bet you all the expenses of the experiments you can do. And I'll pay for the lessons.
Oh, you're a real gentleman.
It's certainly an interesting experiment. She's so very common. Oh, so very dirty.
Oh, I ain't dirty. I washed my hands and face before I come here. I did.
I shall do it. I shall make this awful creature into a lady in just 6 months. I'll make people believe she is a duchess.
Woo!
Wonderful.
Take her away and clean her up, Mrs. Pierce. Burn her clothes and wrap in brown paper until the new ones arrive.
Oh, you're no gentleman. I am a good girl. I am.
I haven't got any there to put her, sir.
Then put it in the dustbin.
Oh!
Oh, Professor Higgins, you can't do this. You don't know anything about this girl. She may be married.
Marriage. Who'd marry me?
My water Eliza, there will be a queue of men waiting to marry to you by the time I finish with you.
Oh, to be sensible, Professor, you must think about what will happen to this girl.
What do you mean, Mrs. Pierce?
Well, are you going to pay her wages? And there will she go, then you finish your experiment.
When I finish with her, she can go anywhere she likes and do anything she likes.
Exactly, she will be a lady. What do you think of that, Mr. Little?
Well,
You shall stay with me for the next 6 months and learn how to speak beautifully. Then we will go to the ambassador's party. And if I'll pass you off as a lady, you will start life as a lady in the flower shop. What do you think?
I think you'd better let me speak to the girl in private.
Very well. Take her away and clean her up, Mrs. Pierce.
oh, you are no gentleman. You are not. I won't stay here if I don't like it. I am a good girl. I am.
Higgins and Colonel Pickering were sitting by the fire when Mrs. Pierce returned to the room.
So, I'm afraid we have another problem now. There is a Mr. Doolittle here to see you, sir. He says you have his daughter. Mr. Doolittle, sir.
Professor Higgins? Here, do sit down.
I come about a very serious matter. I want my daughter.
Well, I'm not going to keep your daughter free now. Take her away. How dare you come here and try to blackmail me?
Blackmail you? What are you talking about?
You sent her on purpose. You want money. I shall call the police.
Now, wait a second. I never said nothing about money.
Well, what else have you come here for? Do go on with your story.
Well, Eliza sent a bottle her things, and I met him on the street. So, he told me where she was, and I come here to find what was going on.
Well, you can take her away now.
Now, hold on. I like you and I can see that you're a gentleman.
Huh, can you?
I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. After all, what's about £5 to you and what's Eliza to me?
What? You mean you would sell your daughter to us? Have you no morals?
I can't afford morals. Nor could you if you was as poor as me. Morals are for the rich.
We shall give the man £5 and we shall write to Professor Wonderful.
Professor who?
Professor Bonnefeller, the greatest teacher of morality.
Exactly. We shall tell him if he ever wants a man to talk about morality among the poor, he should send for Mr. Alfred Doolittle.
Don't mix me up. I just want the £5. I ain't asking for nothing more.
Here, are you sure you don't want more? I can give you £10 if I want.
Oh no, £10 is too much. £5 is all I want. Thank you, sir. I'd better go now, sir. Excuse me, miss.
Really? Don't you know your own daughter?
Well, I never. It's Eliza.
Don't I look silly?
Silly! You look amazing.
Mr. Higgins, please don't make the girl conceited about herself.
I'll put my hat on. I will look alright with my hat on.
Well, I never thought she'd be as good looking as that.
You'll come to see your daughter regularly, Mr. Doolittle. It's your duty, you know.
Of course I'll come. But I come next week because I have a job out of town. I come later, after the job.
Don't you believe the old guy? You won't see him again in a hurry.
I don't want to see him, Eliza, do you?
I don't want never to see him again. I'm going to be a lady now, and I'm going to show everyone in my old street how I look like now. I won't speak to them, you know.
Perhaps you should wait until you have more fashionable clothes. Your new dress will be here soon.
Besides, you shouldn't be rude to your old friends. You mustn't be a snob.
Don't call them my friends. They laughed at me in the past, and now I want to put them on their places.
The new clothes have come for Eliza to try on.
We have taken on a difficult job, Pickering.
We have, indeed.
Alfred sold Eliza to Professor Higgins for £5. Perhaps the two men did not realize that there are some things money just can't buy.
No. What I am doing.
It was hard work, and Eliza often became frustrated and angry. However, one day, Professor Higgins decided that it was time to test Eliza by introducing her to some upper-class people at his mother's house.
Hello, Mother.
What are you doing here, Henry? You know this is the day when I invite people for tea and your friends, all my friends.
Nonsense.
You do. You say the wrong things to them, and then they never want to visit me again.
Well, Mother, you know I'm not good at small talk. Anyway, there is a girl I want you and your friends to meet.
Oh dear. So you say you have fallen in love at last?
No. I haven't fallen in love. This girl is a project.
A project?
She's a common flower girl, and I picked her off the street and teach how to speak beautifully.
Oh, Henry.
Don't worry, Mom. I've told her to speak properly and about everybody's health and weather. It will be quite safe.
So you say she speaks properly now?
Her English is as good as your French.
This is satisfactory.
Well, it is and it isn't.
What does that mean?
Well, she pronounces all her words properly. The trouble is, you have to think not how she pronounces words, but what words she pronounces.
What do you mean, Henry?
Your guests are here, Miss Higgins.
Please, show them in. Now, Henry, be nice.
Good afternoon.
How do you do? How do you do? This is my son, Henry. How do you do?
How do you do?
Colonel Pickering is here.
To come in, Colonel. Let me introduce you to the Einsford Hills.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Where's Eliza? What on earth are they going to talk until she comes? What on earth do I know of poetry or philosophy?
Or of madness, Henry?
Miss Eliza Doolittle.
She looks quite impressive, doesn't she?
She's stunning! Oh, mother, this is Eliza.
How do you do? How do you do? This is Mrs. Einsford Hill and her son Freddie. How do you do? How do you do? Will it rain, do you think?
There is no great change in the barometrical situation.
Oh,
Here, what a lovely nature man. I bet I got it right.
I hope it won't turn cold. Our whole family suffer from influenza when the weather turns cold.
My aunt died of influenza. At least that's what they say. But if you ask me, I say that it's the old woman in.
Did you in? What on earth do you mean, my dear?
Huh. It's the new slang. It means to kill someone.
So, you say that you think someone killed your aunt?
Yes, she was as strong as a horse. I know where she died of influenza. Not her.
oh, that's terribly funny.
Would you laugh an ancient man? I haven't said anything funny, have I?
It is a new slang, and you do it so well.
Oh, I really must go. Afternoon, gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Well, I really don't think I can manage the new slang. It's time for us to go. We have another home to visit this afternoon.
It's been a pleasure to visit me again on one of my home days. Freddie, you're welcome to meet Miss Doolittle here again.
Oh, thank you, madam. And Freddie, make sure you try the new slang at the next home you'll be. Well, mother, is Eliza a lady?
You silly boy, of course she's not a lady.
Why ever not?
She's beautiful and her pronunciation is perfect, but every word that comes out of her mouth shows that she's still a common flower girl.
Do you think we can do something about her language?
Not while Henry is her teacher. His language is hardly a good example.
Well, perhaps you're right.
Now, you two, I want you to tell me exactly how things are at Whipple Street.
Oh, I have moved there. Henry and I are working on Indian dialects together.
Yes, I know all that. But where does the girl live?
Huh. Well, she lives with us, of course.
I see. But is she a servant? Is she the lady of the house? What is she? Who exactly is Eliza?
I think I know what you mean.
Well, I don't. All I know that the girl is useful.
Useful?
Yes, she knows where everything is and she makes a note of all my appointments and so on.
Oh dear, don't you realize that when Eliza got into Whipple Street, she brought a problem with her? A problem of what to do with her once you finish your lessons.
Well, that's not a problem at all. She can go her own way with all the advantages I have given to her.
Advantages? She will have all the manners and habits of a fine lady, but she won't have a fine lady's money. What is she to do?
Oh, we'll find her something to do.
We'll find her some employment.
Perhaps we have to prepare Eliza to the time, to the visit, to the ambassador's part.
Well, mother, we must go.
The two men had always honest. a few weeks to turn their pupil into a proper lady, and they were determined to make the most of the time they had left. The day arrived. Higgins was about to find out if he could win his bet, as he and the colonel accompanied Eliza to the ambassador's party.
Don't forget that you look like some of them, and try your best to sound like one.
I will. Please wait for me here until I return from the cloakroom.
Surely, Gods Henry.
Oh, please. Thank you.
Professor, do you remember?
No, I don't.
Oh, Nathaniel. I'm your pupil. I'm a little Nipoma. You cannot forget me.
What are you doing among all these important people?
I'm an interpreter. I speak to
Может, вы выйдете?
and I was sent for international party. It is so nice to see you again, Professor. We will talk later. If this fellow really an expert, can he find the lies and blackmail her?
If he finds out, I will lose my bet.
I know it's Colonel.
Rightfully. It's like my first time in the bed.
But it is not the first time for me. I've done this hundreds of times in my dreams. It's like a dream now. Promise not to wake me because I sleep as I used to.
It's time to go now. Are you both ready?
How do you do?
How do you do? I wonder who this lady is. Have you seen her before? She's stunning, doesn't she? And her English is perfect. She looks like a real lady. Let's look closer. How do you do?
How do you do?
You sound exactly like Queen Victoria.
Oh, Miss Dolly was a fraud, you explained. She cannot deceive you. She cannot be English. Only foreigners who have taught to speak English speak it so well, and she's converted and the wrong luck, like me.
I said she's a common flower girl taught to speak by an expert.
I can't do this anymore. The old lady has just told me I speak exactly like Queen Victoria. I will never be the same as these people. Sorry I lost your bet.
You haven't lost it, dear. You have won it 10 times over.
Let's get out of here. I've had enough of this.
What a day. First, the ambassador's party. Next is dinner, and then the opera.
Yes, it was really interesting.
I can't but the praise. You did it all, Higgins. You achieved the impossible.
Yes, I did, didn't I? Those silly people were really fool. At first it was really interesting, but then get incredibly boring.
I was afraid once or twice because Eliza was doing so well, better than upper-class people.
Whew, yes, and now I can go to bed without reading tomorrow.
Oh, I turn to good night.
where is my slippers? What on earth have I done with them?
Here are slippers.
What's the matter, Liza? Is there something wrong?
Oh, there is nothing wrong with you. I've won your bet for you, and you are just fine. But what about me?
You won my bet. I won it. And why did you throw those slippers at me? What on earth do I know what has happened to you?
What difference does it make now? Just tell me one thing. Do my clothes belong to me?
Of course they belong to you. What myself cannot be free doing them.
Thank you. I just want to be sure that I'm not accused of stealing.
Stealing? Who would accuse you of stealing? You shouldn't have said it. It shows a lack of sensitivity.
I just want to be sure.
Take anything except for the chairs. They're hard. Are you satisfied?
This is not hard. This is one you bought me, but I don't want it. It's all yours.
You have had me lose my temper, Eliza. I'm going to bed and I will see you tomorrow in the morning.
You'd better leave a note for Miss Pierce about coffee in the morning.
Eliza gathered her things and silently left the house. She had no intention of ever seeing Professor Higgins again. He would certainly be sorry when he found out she had done.
Professor Higgins is downstairs with Ken on Pickering. We want to see you.
Go upstairs and tell Miss Doolittle that the professor will come up here.
Yes, madam.
And ask her not to come downstairs until I send her.
Yes, Miss Higgins.
Look, Mother, a terrible thing has happened.
Oh dear, what is it?
Eliza, he has disappeared.
Well, perhaps you upset her?
No, she just left without any explanation. What I am to do?
Well, there's nothing you can do. The girl has a right to leave if she chooses.
There is a Mr. Doolittle here to see Professor Higgins. He was sent here from Whipple Street.
Do you mean the dustman?
Oh no, sir. There is a Mr. Doolittle. He's a gentleman.
Show him.
Mr. Doolittle, madam.
Look at this. See what you done? You ruined me, destroyed my habits.
What are you talking about?
Did you or did you not go to Professor Wanelfer and tell him to contact me?
Well, yes, I did, but...
Yes, and he only gonna let me £3,000 a year in his will. Okay? Yes, he thought I was the greatest moralist there ever was.
Well, what's wrong with it?
I used to be happy. When I needed money, I asked other people for it. Same as I asked you.
And now you have your own money.
Yes, now I have to support all my poor relations.
Well, that's good news. You can support Eliza too.
No! He give me £5 for Eliza. She is mine and I shall support her. Oh, if I only knew where she was, I'm in a mess without Eliza.
Well, if you really want to know where Eliza is, she's upstairs.
Upstairs, right?
Wait a minute, Henry. You need to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say.
Oh, all right.
Eliza came to me this morning, and she told me about the terrible way you two treated her.
What? That's nonsense.
Perhaps we were certainly not unkind to Eliza last night. Did you bully your candle when they went to bed?
No, she bullied me. She threw my slippers at me.
Oh, why should do a thing like that?
I'll tell you why. Eliza worked very hard for you, and yet you didn't give her any word of praise.
We have a little talk. Is she very angry?
Well, she won't go back into Whipple Street.
Oh dear.
But if you promise to behave yourselves, I shall ask you to come downstairs and talk to you.
Of course we'll behave ourselves.
Henry,
All right.
tell Miss Doolittle to come down here.
I'll go out with that. She don't want to see me like this. Not just me.
How do you do, Professor Higgins? How do you do, Colonel Pickering?
Eliza, you look like a true lady.
Quite chilly this morning, isn't it?
Don't you dare play this game on me, Eliza. I've taught it to you and you can't fool me. Get your clothes and come back home.
Anyone can learn to speak properly and to dress properly. But the real difference between the flower girl and the lady is the way how she is treated.
How she is treated.
To you, Professor Higgins, I will always be a flower girl, because you always treat me like a flower girl, and you always will.
I do not.
But to Colonel Hickory, I will always be a lady, because he always treats me like a lady, and he always will.
But can you forgive me and come back?
He only wants me back to pick up his slippers and to fetch and care for him.
I don't want you to back at all.
Very well, I can do without you. I'm going to marry Freddie Ansford here. He writes me 2 or 3 times a day, and he truly loves me.
This silly boy, he couldn't get a jealous and errand boy. How will you live?
I'll work. I will be a teacher.
And what will you teach?
I will teach that what you taught me. I'll be the teacher of phonetics.
I like you like this, Eliza. After all, I made you into a woman, and now I want you to buy some things for me.
Honestly, Professor, I cannot imagine what you are to do without me.
I should be uneasy about the 2 of you if Eliza wasn't forced to come.
Higgins, she's going to marry Freddie. Freddie!
This is the end of our play.